Civilization is the state of human society when it enters an organized form of cultural and material progress. Mankind has witnessed several great civilizations that have advanced it both materially and culturally. Under material progress, the world has seen scientific and technological advancements. Under cultural progress, it has seen the development of modes of thought, experimentation, philosophy, and notions of equality and justice. Humanity has many civilizations to thank for where it is today in terms of the material ease of living that we experience. Yet, as the world knows all too well, material progress is not a guarantee against barbarity and persecution. Some of the civilizations responsible for the greatest contribution to scientific, material, and even cultural and philosophical progress have been the ones most responsible for death and destruction through their designs of conquest and domination. "5,000 years ago, humanity progressed from nomadic and primitive social structures to an increasingly more sophisticated form. The ancient Chinese and Greeks began to organize life into structured strata. Ancient Egypt is well known as one of the first great ancient civilizations. Based in the Nile Delta, it saw increasingly sophisticated types of administration, taxation, and engineering. However, the political system of ancient Egypt lent itself to power being vested in the pharaoh, the head of the legal system officially responsible for enacting laws, delivering justice, and maintaining order. The cruelty of several pharaohs is notoriously well known. The persecution of Bani Israel, the subjugation of the slave class, and general corruption were as much a reality of ancient Egypt as its progress in other fields. Early on in the tale of world civilizations, it became clear that competition for land and grandeur would lead to mammoth struggles and defining battles. One would challenge another and seek to usurp its place as the leader of humanity. Thus it was that another great empire, the Persian Empire, rose to challenge Egypt. Founded by Cyrus the Great in the year 559 BC, it conquered Egypt in the year 525 BC. It attempted to then dominate the Greeks, who defended successfully against it in 490 and 480 BC. It took one of the greatest empires of them all, the Romans, to rise and challenge this civilization. Rome became a beacon of learning and progress on one hand, while waging gigantic wars to expand its dominion on the other. In 334 BC, Alexander the Great invaded and conquered Persia, and 2 years later he conquered Egypt. After almost 100 years of dominating rule following this conquest, Rome was challenged by a fledgling nation, Carthage. The great military general, Hannibal, led the Carthaginians to an epic victory in the Second Punic War in 216 BC. But the empire struck back, defeating Carthage a decade later. 60 years on, Rome destroyed Carthage and began another long period of domination. In 52 BC, Julius Caesar captured modern-day France and several other areas of Europe. It was during this zenith that the Prophet Isa (AS) was sent as a guide to humanity. Christians believed that he was the Son of God. Muslims believe that a man was crucified in his place and he was lifted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to return one day as the Messiah that will lead the Muslims to victory. In the year 313 CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity, and thus gave a new shape to this empire. He established the great city of Constantinople, which became the seat of the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, for over 1,000 years. The Roman Empire became split into two, with the Western Roman Empire coming under attack by nation after nation. Eventually, after crippling wars and economic failures, in the year 476, the Western Roman Empire came to an end. As the Romans, Persians and Egyptians had fought for domination for hundreds of years, in the east the ancient Chinese empires under the Han dynasty and Hinduism under Ashoka had flourished and led to their own advancements. The Chinese were masters of ancient forms of architecture and also invented paper, the compass and gunpowder in later years. By the year 500, the Byzantine Empire was a major power in Eastern Europe and modern-day Turkey. It vied for supremacy with a resurgent Persian Empire that refused to be defeated despite a millennium's worth of wars. It was at this time that there emerged a new way of life. A profound system that combined worship, spirituality, and politics